guys, Ash here, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Glad to have you all here with me today. Sending some positive vibes, some love your way, especially if you're going through something right now. Guys, today's going to be a really fun video. We're going to talk about the ever-evolving meta in Raid Shadow Legends because it's happening again. We are going through a meta shift right now, and it's always exciting because it gives new or previously unusable champions an opportunity to shine.
Honestly, this is all moving a lot faster than I expected.
Today we're going to talk about who these new champions are that are seeing their day in the sunlight, some of them returning to their day in the sunlight, and also talk about why this is happening. So it's really cool. We've had so many different kind of metas over the years. Since I've been playing Raid in 2019, we've had, you know, it goes around champions, but it also revolves even more so maybe around artifact sets, right? So back in the day, it was kind of the all speed way back in the day, and then Tormund came in the game and disrupted everything.
The buckets.
Obviously, Hegemon was really popular then back as well. And then it shifted from speed when the introduction of Stoneskin came into the game. And Stoneskin is still incredibly popular, the most popular set inside the arena. But now it's evolving again because of Feral and Pinpoint. Previously kind of Armons and Polymorph, you know, as well. So not to say that you can't use Armons and Polymorph. Obviously, they're the two most popular things going on the game still to this day. But we're seeing a shift because of Feral and because of Pinpoint. Feral a little bit less so, but it's starting to creep up. The longer Clan Siege, for all its faults, is in the game. The more we will see, you know, people taking advantage of this very good in PvE and PvP artifact set. You get that nice damage boost. Man, Feral and Pinpoint, just to have a quick digression here, excuse me, Feral and Protection. Both of them in the 9-piece are just absolutely insane for those damage boosts. 75% to place a protected buff, but allies deal 5% more damage for each buff placed by the wearer. That is insane. Insanely good for Hydra Clan Boss. Very good for the arena, for the protected buffs as well. And then Feral, the same thing, right? We look at the 9-piece. Allies deal 5% more damage per each debuff placed by the wearer. Ooh, those are really good boost there at the 9-piece. But I want to talk about people kind of the new champions getting their moment in the PvP sunlight, right? So let's talk about them, guys. There's really a couple categories of champions. So the first category of champions are buff removers, right? So number one, and this guy he's defining the meta right now. It's Odin, right? I'm not going to spend a ton of time on any of these champions. We're going to talk about why they're so good right now. And this is a reoccurring theme that we're seeing more and more of, especially when we get to the next champion on the list. First of all, Odin has the best speed aura in the game. It's for Void, but man, 40% in the arena is absolutely broken. Everybody, I'm actually pretty high in arena right now. At least I was last night. Am I still in plat? I am. I'm recording this on a Sunday, probably not gonna go live for a few days. I am currently 59th, right? And check out Odin. Let's see. Of course, I get no Odins. I get a bunch of Marishkas.
I have a problem with that?
No way. Okay, we get one Odin down there. Oh, two Odins. 3 Odins. There we go. A lot of Marishkas, a lot of Odins. Marishka we'll talk about in just a moment, right? She's never been better in PvP. But Odin, very strong with that aura, but even beyond that, he brings something to the table that we're seeing a lot more of in the game very recently. So a lot of damage on the A3, insane ability, but he's removing buffs. So this category is buff removers. This meta is very buff heavy, okay? So removing buffs, it's very important to have on your team. He removes buffs and he stuns and has decreased defense. No big deal, all on a 3-turn cooldown. Yeah, this is an insanely good ability. Removing buffs and placing a CC debuff is super strong. So Odin has that, and that's something that we're seeing a lot more of recently. Another one is going to be Gergo the Augur. This guy went from worst to first. He's being used every single day that I play live arena, heck, even tag team while I'm getting my faction war keys. In the regular arena, I'm seeing exponentially more Gergo the Augur. All right, Bone Chiller. Removes all buffs, places a freeze, gets an extra turn, comes in there with a decreased defense and an extra hit on targets under freeze. Man, that's powerful. Same sort of vibe as Odin. We're removing buffs and replacing them with a freeze, right? There's another one too. This guy's been meta for a while because he's so good. We're not going to spend a lot of time, but Star Sage Galathir on his A2. He's removing all buffs and placing a block active skills. So again, these buff remover champions, they're becoming a lot more popular. So those are the ones that remove buffs and place CC debuffs after they do so. Really strong. They're not protected. It leaves champions not protected, and then it CCs them for an entire turn. That's a lot of time for you to get your work in and kill them, essentially, right? But there's other champions that are also seeing more opportunities. Now, people are, why is Madame Sarus usable all of a sudden again? First of all, she's always been usable. I don't want to paint with a very, very narrow brush. Broad brush?
I must paint you.
Oh, that's so...
Does it work with a narrow brush too? Can I paint with a narrow brush? Sure, why not, right? I don't want to paint with a narrow endgame brush here. Because Madame Sarus, in my mind, has always been viable. You know, just less so the higher that you go, because the more polymorph that you encounter. But the thing is, with Pinpoint right now, with Feral Gear right now, people are slowly but surely, and with a lot of other viable blessings, right? Life Harvest. I mean, there's a bunch that people are starting to switch around. Intimidating Presence, because speed is back in the meta. We're seeing a lot of intimidating presences shift from polymorph to intimidating, at least on one champion on your squad, right? So it's given less polymorph. And also we have artifact sets to mitigate CC debuffs and to mitigate even sheep, right? Anyway, Madame Sarus, removing buffs and debuffing on the same ability, decrease attack and decrease defense and buff removal. She's back, right? You can absolutely use her, especially if you have that pinpoint as well. Really helpful to keep her, well, you know, alive and not a sheep. Same thing with Orion the Conjurer, right? Removing buffs and placing a weaken, very effective. Buff removers in a super buff heavy meta. I think you guys get the point. Very powerful. So all of those buff removers and CC champions, they're becoming more and more and more popular inside the game. Do you guys use any of them? Let me know. The other category is going to be the bombers. The bombers are as meta as they've ever been since I started playing this game. And we'll start talking about Nishek. Man, Nishek is a threat right now. Comes in with the A2, places a bomb on everybody, 2-turn detonation, comes back in and reduces the detonation. This is one of the best methods to dealing with Stone Skin, which is still super, super popular and prevalent all over the meta. So Nishek Verminlord is insanely good. And right now, I feel like he's being underutilized by a lot of players out there in the arena. I see some endgame players using him, but I don't think it's trickled down all the way and permeated through the entire community properly yet. Nishek is extremely, extremely good. I'm gonna have a whole video on him in PvP.
Take it out my desk.
But doesn't stop at Nishek, right? Obviously, she's old school, but she's still very good, and she's not an orc ash. It's Astralith. I don't know why. I always think she's an orc, and she's clearly not, but she's an old school champion. She's got a great speed aura of 28%, so you like that in the arena as well. And then she's got that bomb that can't be resisted. Actually, 2 bombs that can't be resisted. Notably here, we're looking for 1-turn bombs, right? So she has that. You can pop somebody off with it, or you can just spread it with like a Vizier or a debuff spreader. She's very good as well. But there's a lot of other bomb champions that actually I'm starting to see more and more of. Believe it or not, one of the worst champions in the game, at least that's what we thought for a long, long, long time, it's War Mother, right? She has instant detonation of bombs as long as she's under an increased attack, which is really, really nice. She does have an AoE bomb, but it is a 2-turn duration. So personally, she's not my favorite bomb champion, but her and Gaius are very viable, right, for bomb options out there. But I have to give a shout to my man, Lord Shazar. Lord Shazar is another very underappreciated and utilized champion out there in the arena. He has a 32% arena speed aura. That's so freaking powerful. If you have him awakened, throw an intimidating presence on him as well, and further strengthen that amazing, amazing aura. He also has a bomb that detonates after 2 turns. Decrease detonation cooldown by 1 turn if the attack is critical. He's green affinity, so Spirit, when you're going against Force affinity, he's a great option for a bomb champion, right? He also has an extra turn self-buffing ability to bring his own increased attack. So Lord Shazar is a lot better than people are recognizing right now inside the game. But when we talk about bombs, I mean, let's be real. The #1 champion right now in the game, dude, he's so unbelievably annoying. He's so good, is Ketas, right? Ketas comes in there on his alternate form. He's placing 2 bombs for 2 turns, instantly detonates bombs on champions under Stone Skin buffs, then stuns them, whoever had the bomb detonated by this skill. Ooh, there's very few ways to counter this guy. He's so freaking strong.
Interesting. You know what else is interesting? Grenades.
I find him just everywhere, and I'm going heavy on Marishka, and I guess that brings me to the last category of champions we're seeing, you know, getting a lot of attention in the meta. Now let's start with Marishka, right? So Marishka, I know what 80% of you guys are thinking right now. Ash, are you crazy? Marishka's always been meta, not like this. Not like this. You guys just saw it in the arena right now. Marishka is better than she's ever been by a mile. As a matter of fact, people are playing Marishka all the time without Sarus, right? They used to be kind of, you see them together way more often than not. Now it's not like that. Now I see Marishka all the time. I see Sarus sometimes, right? He's still very popular, very good. But she is just, Sarus is still at the same level of popularity, very high. Marishka's like here, right? She's way up over my disconnected hand. First of all, she can cleanse all these bombs and all this baloney that we're talking about, all these stuns that we're talking about from Odin, and everybody else, the Madame Sarus's debuffs, all that stuff. She cleanses it off, right? She got the cleanse, that's great. She got the best heal in the game, one of the best heals. With that protected strength and all that buff removal, having a protected buff is better than ever. But this passive makes her one of the only options against all of these bombers. And champions like Gizmak too, the burners too, right? The burns, poison, bomb. That block damage is everything. It's essential. It's so freaking powerful. And she can double down as an emergency, or actually better than an emergency, just a great reviver with her passive, right? So Marishka is next level, the most meta she's ever been in. She's always been meta, right? She's always been amazing. She's even better right now. But it doesn't end at Marishka, right? There's other options out there. We talked about Ketas, who is a Magic Affinity champion, Blue Affinity, right? So what is the best option against him? Like, how do you stop that dude? He's instantly activating everything against Stone Skin, and everybody's using Stone Skin right now. So what do we have for options? Well, it's not in Skinwalkers, it's in Lizardmen. Pythion. Pythion, I have a whole video going live soon on Pythion, his resurgence in the meta. Again, he's always been good, don't get me wrong, but he's fallen out of kind of endgame arena meta. This guy's better than ever, really. He's Force Affinity, so we can counter Magic Affinity bombers or anybody Magic Affinity, and Magic Affinity is where the meta is right now. So much Magic Affinity. Siegfried, Lazarius, Ketas, there's a lot of them right now, right? Rhodos. Pythion is red affinity, so we love that. He has damage mitigation on his passive, very, very good. He's a reviver. He can pick everybody else up. If everybody dies except for him, no worries, he'll revive them. 50% turn meter, the big version of Strengthen, hell yeah. But this A2 ability, the cleanse, and then the heal, and then the block debuffs, is one of your best responses to all of these debuffers out there right now in the meta. Plus, you want to build him with super high resist. He's very tanky. He's one of those champions, to me, he always felt a lot tankier than his stats would indicate, right? His stats are good, but he's always just felt like a super, super solid tank. I mean, look at the dude. What's up, Pythion? This guy's really freaking good right now in the meta, and a lot of people are sleeping on how good he is. I'm talking endgame, but I'm not done yet. There's 2 more champions I want to talk about. Mithala is another one. Mithala, because of this passive, you know, she's a cleanser just like Pythion. She's obviously Void Affinity, which is good, but we'd rather have Force in this meta right now. But still, Void is fantastic, and because of the increases champion's resistance by the amount of accuracy she has, she can actually resist a lot of these debuffs that we're talking about right now as well. And she's fairly easy to do that. You just got to build her with enough accuracy. So she's going to cleanse, she can resist, she can shield everybody, she can, you know, hex, increase defense. You guys know Mithala, but very, very good as a cleanser right now as well. And then I guess let's just talk about the king. I've almost got him, guys. I'm almost there. Marius. Oh, I wish I had him. probably the best, I don't know, the best champion right now in the meta. Certainly up there, top 5. So good, so tanky, so fast. He has the extra, what it all comes down to, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why Marius is amazing, but really what it comes down to is the buffs, stun on the enemy with the highest turn meter, extra turn, and then coming in with the stupid death or glory ability. I say stupid because I don't have them, and it gets used against me all the time, and I absolutely hate it. What did we talk about at the top of the video? It's such a buff-heavy meta right now. He's coming in there attacking every 3 times. Each hit decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. He can get rid of every buff that you need, and he deals a ton of damage, not to mention the annoying Enfeeble, not to mention the passive where he's going in with the Enfeeble. It's, he's next level. Marius is next level good right now. He's tanky. He's a nuker. He's good everywhere, even inside and outside of the arena. He's really one of the best champions in the game right now, and he is the definition of meta. So guys, with Pinpoint, with Feral, with Stoneskin, with, you know, the kind of ever evolving options in terms of, we're seeing more Lightning Cage because of these other factors that we mentioned. We're seeing more Life Harvest. We're seeing a lot of different blessing options, Intimidating Presence, like I mentioned. So a little bit less polymorph, some options for polymorph, more options for Armons has really shifted the meta. And these are so far the winners that I have seen already making a big impact in the arena meta. What about you guys? What are you seeing? Who are you using? How are you countering what you're seeing the most out there? Let me know in the comments below, guys. I am really feeling PvP right now in Raid. Hopefully you guys are as well. Thanks for watching till the end. And as always, take care, guys.